Hello and welcome. If it's your first time, I'm Simon. He's Casper. Now, I wasn't going to bore you by doing any more airport runs because I'm still running backwards and forwards because of all the lovely stuff I've been finding. I'm scavenging at the airport, the local airport. Anyway, it is 9:07 and the sun has just come over the horizon. I don't know what the temperature was this morning, -13, -14, something like that. So we're still, even though we've been driving with the heater full on, which is what that noise is. I can turn it down a bit. Yeah, that's better. Here we go. The sun has just come up over the top. And it's going to be so spectacular, I thought I would turn the camera on. Christ. Because we don't get much sun now. We won't get much sun for a good few months. And it don't come above the horizon. Well, we'll give it another week or two. But it has just come over the top of the trees. And like I say, it's, I don't know, my van's too old. It ain't got one of those things in it, those do-to-me flips that tell you how many minus figures there are. Casper's getting excited, obviously. Anyway, I'm trying to get to a point where I can turn the camera around. There's a few trees here. This would be a good point. All right. Look at that. Wow, how amazing that is that? He's getting excited. Oh, there's people down there. What's going on today? I didn't actually get anything filmed. There was too many people there practicing on their new pieces of machinery, and yeah, it didn't look like the right place to. Anyhow, I did think I'd show you that. So that's as high. What's the time now? 1000 hours. That's as high as the sun will get. And of course it will get lower. It will only be a matter of a few weeks where it won't rise at all. But yeah. Right, we'll get this lot back to the yard. I've only got 2 crates on. 2 big crates, well, you'll see in a second for you. But I have filled them with firewood and like the ply and bits and pieces. So, yeah. Right, I've got to get up this icy hill. Rightly or wrongly, on the way back from the airport, I've decided to stop and do a little job I got to do today, which is empty this hot tub. Right, we're not dropping our camera in there. So my friend is on his way home today. For those that you saw the build, I've got plumbing underneath the decking. Well, that froze the instant we tried to fill it up. So I've kind of East Robinsoned a water pipe into the underneath to try and get this off the deck. Now I'm expecting to pull this plug and know how warm the water is. Well, let's see how fast. It'll either freeze or it won't. Right. Well, that's not gone too badly. Seems to have a lot of water coming out on the deck, which I didn't want, but we've also got a lot of water going over. I don't want to disturb that now. Fortunately, it's still got some temperature in it from last night, so we're not going to freeze yet. And then if we're quick enough, I can sweep this water off the deck and we'll be good. How did my chimney do? Well, you can see up here, I still haven't finished the trim before he got here, which is a bit of a shame. And the outer flue that I made's not discoloured. So we can say from that that's been a success. And I've seen the way Brian eats up his water. He's not gentle.
I'm not very gentle, no.
He's not gentle. He roars it and looks like the paint has stayed on. So there's an update on that. So we'll empty this out and then we'll get back to the yard and get those crates off, which you haven't seen yet. Anyway, I've loaded up 2 crates and then put all the stuff in those. I know you've seen it 1,000 times before. And we'll get this water off the deck. There we go. Empty. We're about, well, the sun's up, so I don't know. I'd say -8, -10, something like that. So he's going to have to run because this residue around the outside, it's going to freeze, and it's going to freeze real quick. So that's that little job done. That's the hot tub emptied, and quick look around this fantastic building, which he's really enjoyed. It's the first time he's seen this since I built it. It's not finished, and now he wants it enclosed along here, and of course the balustrading and none of that's done yet, so that'll be beginning of next summer. But the hot tub's done, and it's cold. I have to go and offload these crates, so let's go back to the yard, do that. What a view. See how the cold just destroys the stain when it's right on the walls. It all looks as good as dad, doesn't it? This is 2 years old now, but anything where it's left outside and is exposed just kills it. Anyway, off we go. We are into some proper minus double digits now. So the challenge is not just standing on our feet, but our challenge is going to be our first. Okay, so that's what I picked up today. Now I filled them up, they're both full of firewood, but my straps are frozen solid, even though they've been inside the van. They're frozen solid. That's not my biggest concern. I've got 2 concerns. Well, there's no smoke. Coming out of the chimney, so I need to go and light the furnace. But this is our first proper cold start on the old girl. So we'll just have a see how she's gonna feel today. I don't know how she does that. Anyway, that's a cold start. Nice. When he grab some coffee, go in for a coffee, leave the old girl running for a minute, and light the furnace, because I didn't light it first thing this morning. Me and the silly hund was gone early. Check on the chickens, see how we do it. Hello girls. Oh, smells lovely in here. You got some eggs? Oh yeah. We do have eggs. Egg over there, egg there. 2 eggs I can see. Eggs all good. Yeah. What? You like to have a look, don't you? No, don't go in there. Just have a look. Just have a look. We don't need chaos, but you can have a look. There you go, look. There you go. Yeah. Mate. You don't want to upset them, otherwise we won't have any eggs, will we? No. Right. It's going to like this furnace. Or we all freeze to death. It's not so bad down there because obviously we're in the cellars, but it's not good. Whew. Look at that lot warming up. It's not what we can burn, it's just warming up. Normally I have a vacuum cleaner. Stick the end of the vacuum cleaner in that. No vacuum cleaner because the vacuum cleaner is waiting to be cleaned. It's on my list and I'm going to get to it. But I'm not at it right just now. Well, I should have lit this morning before I went really, but it won't keep going. So if you light it before you go, it'll be out. And then you have to do it all again. So for those of you that have been here before, you know that I pride myself on using every part of every tree that I cut for fuel and heating. And this is where the tops go, the little branches. This is all birch, highly flammable. And it's away. And then I'll chop the kindling. See how I've got the advantage of having a wood shop above is a lot of this stuff at the moment, this is all the offcuts from in the shop, so nothing gets wasted. It all gets sent down the chute there. So this is all wood from outside that I'm bringing in to warm up. You can see the entrance to the chute, and it comes down and it gets stacked in our wood room in different species, different sizes, and then we can pick and choose what we do. And then for actual fire lighting, for getting it going, there we go, that's enough. So where I have to move more tonnage to dry that's not fully seasoned or has got wet before the beginning of the season, then much against my better judgment I move it into the furnace room, and it will sit there and dry. Right. Again, for those of you know, birch bark. Highly flammable. It's one of those wonderful materials in nature that has so many uses. That's that going. All I've got to do is load that now. Easy. Easy peasy. Lemon squeezy. Especially on a day like today. It's so cold outside that it will soon warm the chimney and just draw the heat up. And yeah, wouldn't I like something that runs 24 hours? But that's not what it is. Everything's manual. How satisfying is that? You'd think it's a novelty, innit? No, it's something I've got to do every day. And sometimes, if you go to town, you've got to do it twice a day, which, you know, pains me. God help you if you fall asleep on a really cold night on the sofa, because it don't take long to lose the heat. The heat in a building this size, if you forget to come and stoke her up and get her going. And I'm sure I've said this, she ain't the most efficient boiler in the world, furnace, but it's what we got, so that's the way it is. Right, what do we want here? Some of this willow. Right, is it any good for burning? Well, no, but we've had a bit of a difficult year this year with my back operation and one thing and another. I kind of had to grab what I could, but I mean, we've got, you know, good stocks now, enough to get through the winter, and we've got stuff outside, but oh, that's no good, is it? Yeah. The willow comes from a neighbour that's they grow like weeds, so trees can be weeds. Video, put a link somewhere. And that's where all this come from, and it's in an effort to clear the forest and keep the forest healthy. Then we cut this, we call it salu, but it's willow. Doesn't grow particularly big, or it's a horrible tree really, but yeah, it goes straight up the chimney. It doesn't produce much heat, but it's good for the first stages of lighting. And this is fir and stuff. There might be some spruce in amongst there, but it's got to come in for drying. I need more tonnage down here. It's always assumed as a man that you will always be able to cope and manage, but the beginning of this year, the first few months, was a bit of a learning curve for both me and Sarah. With my back, I was disabled. So for those of you that have had back problems, eventually it leads to a herniated disc. And if you push past that pain and you keep going because you have to, eventually you'll rupture that disc. And when you do, you'll know, because you'll get an involuntary jaw movement and it will smash your teeth out. If your tongue's there, you want to be able to learn sign language real fast. But before all that happens and you get operated on, you're incapacitated. You're incapacitated with pain and your ability, and therefore, for the first time, I've loaded, you can see to the ceiling, the wood room, because of the importance of making sure Sarah can have enough wood and is able to supply the furnace with wood in the event something happens to me. Right, anyway, always rambling. I have been told, my daughter told me I ramble too much, because she would, she's my daughter. My brother, he told my mum I ramble too much. He ain't told me. He will. But since I now have more subscribers than him, and it looks like one of my videos is going to be his all-time performing video, he can shut up, right? Oh, and he had to do a collab. Oh. Chuck some birch in there and we'll be all good. We going? Yeah. Oh. Right, now we can have a cup of coffee. While that is getting going, switch the main pump on. That's doing its thing. Yeah. Not good. Not good. Right. Now then, most importantly, I suppose there is something more interesting to be said about this. You've got air in at the bottom, rear flue, and open vent at the front. So, how do you make this as efficient as you can? The most efficient kind of wood burners are gasifiers, and that's because they capture the smoke that's released from burning wood is highly explosive, highly flammable. Highly explosive, that's a good word. Yeah, highly explosive. You ever set fire to a gasifier? I have. So what you want to do is you want the wood burning in the bottom, but you also want to ignite all the gases at the top. A gasifier is no good to me because you can't burn anything in a gasifier. You can burn anything in this. I don't put anything with paint, and I don't put anything with stain or any plastics because that's not good for my flues. And everything's separated behind steel doors, and this entire room, whilst it's quite dirty, is concrete. Right, and even my water tanks are separated with steel door there, steel door here. Anyway, so what you're looking for when you're looking in here, where's the camera? Is you want the flames igniting at the top for maximum heat. So you want to combust everything inside. So now what I'm doing is I've closed this down, and this will get closed up further so that I introduce oxygen from my new pipe over there. I'm introducing oxygen in the bottom. I'm also introducing oxygen there to reignite the gases, and then I balance that with this until I've got nice gases igniting at the top. So a chimney with no smoke coming out of it, that's efficient. I can balance this once it gets warmed up so that there's little or no smoke coming out the top. That means I'm combusting all the waste much better. Go on about the environment. Don't Simon, because it's carbon neutral. So it's not about putting gases and stuff into the atmosphere. Our own plant life needs some of that in order to survive, but that's a whole different story. But it is about getting the maximum out of everything you're doing, and to get the maximum out of your wood, you want to combust the gases. And there are several ways of doing that, and I could go into great lengths as to the best way to get your flues to run. But there's lots of people who've done that, and there's gasifiers out there, and they gasifier furnaces, and they will extract and reignite the gases. Really efficient, really efficient. But you can't put anything with nails in there. You can't do this. You can't do that. It's no good for me. Right, so you can see the gases now. There we go. That's what we're looking for. See that? That's the gases igniting at the top. That's what we want. That's nice. Right, she'll warm up and she'll become even more efficient. and then we'll balance this and shut everything down as it warms up. The hotter the furnace gets, the more it will burn all the gases. Right, that is it now. Upstairs for warm coffee. So while I'm here showing my daily bumbling life with my good friends out there, I make the assumption that a lot of my viewers, they live like this and therefore they kind of know. But here's the information. Oh, what am I talking about? For those that don't, this is my only furnace, and this creates hot water and heat for an exceedingly large building. Slowly over the years I've managed to get that building up and working and running, but it's not easy. But one of the important things for me is keeping a diary. Now, I've shown this before, don't make a lot of sense, but it'll make more sense now. So I'm not up to date. 15th all day, 16th all day, 17th all day, 18th today. Full clean here on the 14th, just a few days ago. That means it got cleaned from there all the way through its pipes to there. It goes along there 3 metres and then it goes up 15 metres. That's an entire clean. An entire clean of all the flues, the pipes, the gullies. The lot is cleaned thoroughly. And this time of year now, once it's going up, not if you're just burning birch, you can go 4, 5, 6 weeks. But I'm not. I'm burning fir, pine, sallow and birch. I have to clean that chimney. Right? I don't want to go 29 days. I now have to bring that down to every 15 days, twice a month. And that involves going right to the very top of the building and all the way down. Unfortunately, I do the whole upright of the chimney all from the top, and I do all this from down, and I have all my tools there. But the diary, that tells me July, so this is hot water. So out is out. A quarter is when you light in the evening for hot water. Takes 2 to 3 hours to heat up enough hot water for a bath and the shower and run the washing machine and the dishwasher. But now we're into November and a line straight through, that means it was running all day. Half days, full cleans, and my diary goes back years, 2019. All I do is I put another piece of paper up there. And then you saw me light this with birch bark. Birch bark. What do I do with birch bark? Well, as I'm picking up pieces of birch and they've got loose bark, they go out here into this box. Devil dog, hey, coming in. Starts warming in. Come on. Hey, come in. I'm just going to stand out there and watch. Yeah. Okay. What was I saying? Lost me thought. I know it's too hot to wear out in here. So yeah, the birch bark, it's a natural fire starter. So you don't want to keep it anywhere in a furnace room or anywhere near a source of ignition. Not good, because it will go up real fast. And then, like I say, I can't remember what I was saying. I don't know. Update on the plumbing project. I'm waiting for the pump. And then we can change things and carry on. Right, that's it. We got this going. We'll put some more on it upstairs, have a cup of coffee and go out and unload those crates. So this is the shop floor, which is an old classroom. There's part of the blackboard still there. So the whole school, with the exception to upstairs, has this lino everywhere, on the stairs, on landings. Now, I've already discovered from upstairs that underneath that floor is parquet. Right, so this is going through the classrooms on the lower level, and it's everywhere. And I've never lifted it to find out what's underneath. It's a good protection. However, I've got a little project ongoing in here, and I've just moved the cupboard, and look. That's the original hardwood parquet flooring. And I would bet my life this was purchased during the 1940s, early 50s from the UK, from England. Anyway, I'm going to tear up this lino. Now I know what's underneath it, horsehair and nasty stuff. That's what's underneath it. I also know what it takes to be able to restore a parquet floor like this. So in this small area here, I'm going to guesstimate 35 to 50 hours to restore this. Anyway, I've torn it up at the door here, so you can see we're covered in glue. It's got a thick layer of glue. There it is, like this. And then it's got the backing on the back of this, which is some kind of fibrous stuff, just nasty. When you pull it up, that's what it leaves. The only way you can get all that glue off of that is with heat, with a heat gun. And the fumes are so thick and so toxic, you have to be in there with a massive extraction unit to extract the air out and pump it outside. Fortunately, amongst all the rubbish I have lying around over here, buried, right, you can only just about make it out under all this lot. That unit there, that's used for inflating castles, inflatable castles, inflatable playgrounds, high volume of air, well, it will suck as well as pull. So I can get that in the room, but anyway, it's I'm going to take lino up now and then do whatever else I was doing in that area, and then we'll be ready for starting to have a go to restore that parquet flooring in that area. Anyway, that's it today. Thanks for watching. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed, consider it. To all those that are, thank you very much. And me and Casper, well, we'll catch you on the next one. Bye for now.